Cool, cool. What's up, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, it's BallietBran. Got the weekly stream, and we're going to start off with, we'll do the intro, and then we've got some updates. Richard had streamed with a Playboy model and her friend, the photographer lady. He had given some kind of unique updates there. And then same thing with the director of the Highest of Stakes documentary. So some more information there. And in the clip that I had made, I think, succinctly defines kind of, 2 more weeks in perpetuity, question mark. So let me just say hi to the chat real quick. I do have a whole list of stuff that I want to cover. So all of these are separate bullet points that I want to cover. And once again, we'll get right into it. So let me just say hi real quick. Pepe Harambe says, hopefully PulseChain is out by early next month. Yep. We'll get into that right after the intro. MT Coiner, David Morales, HexDeck16 says Montana in the house. Awesome. Big Boy, OMFE. Good afternoon, everyone. Baby Turtle Loves Jesus says, hello, Balliet. Also, who is it? Rags to Riches, Feeder, and then Hex-Ray Vision. They're streaming now too. So if y'all want to go over there and come back here after things like that, please definitely do, because we stream at the same time now. So Buff on the Beat says, save us from the pain, B. Yeah, I'm definitely going to, you'd mentioned the pain, right? And there's what is it like? Be fearful when other people are greedy, and then be greedy when other people are fearful, right? Is kind of like the Warren Buffett quote. So I kind of want to get into some things there when it comes to the actual price itself. Like right now we're sub 10 cents. We're let's see, we're at 0.09. Pretty much we're at like 9.476 pennies. So we'll kind of get into some of that information there. Because who was it? Hexiest man in the world. He had a stream today with Jim Rat Crypto and Sam Stolt. And I think he brought up some very good points of people's psychology, right? Some people's psychology is when say we went to 56 cents, that was our most recent all-time high. That was the 10,000X. And Toby had kind of talked about that too, that the 10,000X in under 2 years, of course, there was going to be a dip there. So hindsight's always 20/20. But you have people that maybe got in the past, I don't know, 7 or 8 months, and they might be down on their bag and things like this. But the grass is greener on the other side, they always say. So like, as far as the person that got in at 50 cents, sometimes when it's at that 50-cent mark, they might think, oh, I wish I could have got in at that 10-cent mark, that 5-cent mark, whatever mark that we end up going to. And so it's just opportunity as opposed to, oh my God, my bag is down 80+%. Because if you look at everything else in the market, which we're going to do, we'll look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of these things over the past year, the past 365 days. We'll take a look and kind of see how Hex has still performed, because, other people have talked about this too, where like, Whales Only does a really good like correlation chart, showing kind of Hex being decorrelated from the rest. But when everything else is going down and we've got quantitative tightening and things like this, it's not completely resilient to the point where, it's not immune to the volatility, right? The volatility is definitely a feature, not a bug. So anyways, without further ado, let's get into the intro. Shout out to the 38 people watching. And once again, give me about, let's see, just a little bit over a minute. We're going to do the intro real quick. And then if anyone's got any questions, things like that, we'll get into it.
Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like, be sure to share, be sure to comment. Yeah. Say hey. Say hey. Say hey. Say hey. Say hey. Stake that, stake that, stake that, stake that. motherfucking jackpot. We still jackpot, bitch!
Thank you, Richard, for creating and founding the most amazing and disruptive financial technology cryptocurrency ever. Thank you, sir. And nice streams, Mr. BallietBran. It's fabulous.
Cool. So let's just say hi to the rest of the chat. So yeah, save us from the pain, B. And, the thing that I'll say as well is, we're very emotional driven creatures and humans, right? And so even though you have something like Bitcoin that's gone from a penny to $69,000, which is a 6.9 million X, with every single market cycle, you always kind of have the same emotions because your money is attached to the investment that you have. And so we'll kind of go over that, a lot of people, they do put in more than they can afford to lose. And, the thing that I saw in 2017, a lot of people doing was Coinbase at the time. I'm guessing other exchanges had very similar things, but Coinbase at the time had, where you could buy crypto with credit cards. And so you're leveraging against, the actual credit card that your crypto is going to go up and then outpace whatever interest and things like that, whatever APR you have against you. And a lot of people got absolutely wrecked. And so it kind of goes to show you that, not betting the farm and betting the house, because, if you put in even just say a dollar cost average basis on, a couple shekels here from your paycheck every week or every month, things like that, the gains themselves in crypto can be so astronomical that you don't have to over leverage yourself. But oftentimes people, they do get greedy. And, when a bear market turns and then all of a sudden they need to pay that money back, then, it can really go against them. So let's say hi to the rest of the chat. And then once again, we got a little bit of a list and stuff that I want to cover, including one of Richard's most recent tweets and also a clip that I just posted. So let's see. My online ghost, nice to see you. Crypto military vet. OMFE says, I'm glad no launch next weekend because I'll be on vacation. Hee hee. Yeah, totally. Baby turtle loves Jesus. Hello. Micha Van, nice to see you. 2 more years. Yep. Archie, we got Hex Life for BB says, hello, BB from Belgium. Awesome. How's it going? A crypto _boogie says, I want 2 cent Hex homie. Hey, it doesn't hurt. I'm not saying that the price is going to go there. I personally don't think it's going to. If anything, I mean, 10 cents was kind of like a decent resistance and a decent support for a little while. I mean, I've heard people like Tendies and Motley talking that, could go to the 8-7 cent range. Who knows what actual range is going to go to, but we see that from, and that's really where Big Pep had kind of talked about it on his stream the other day, that one of his buddies that he was onboarding at the time at the pub was arguing from, 60, the price of Hex was 60% of a penny, and the person was waiting for it to go to 40% of a penny. And he's like, man, so what matters if it goes from, 9 cents to 8 cents or to even 7 cents, if it, starts bouncing back and really rebounding there. So just wanted to say that. Let's see. Bitfinesse, how are you doing, bro? I saw you on SJ Reed's Sci-Vive, her stream today with, what is it? BG Hex, and then the other lady, Sandra Larson. So he says, this community just doesn't know how to stop moving forward. Hell yeah, bro. Moving forward in many different ways. I see Jim Rat in the chat. LFG, let's fucking go. He says, hope everyone's feeling great. Yeah, dude, feeling great, man. Definitely thanks to you and everyone else too for the crypto fitness challenge. Not only getting wealthy together, but getting healthy together too. Because at the end of the day, like, I don't know, I think a lot of us already kind of know the concepts and the premise of Hex, and so the point itself is to like set it and forget it type of deal. Like do your stake, or some people get into maxi and kind of stake via derivative that way. Get into your stake and then go live your life. Don't be staring at a chart every single day and things like that. So it's really cool that we can focus on other things in the meantime. Agenda 69 says, sub 10 cent Hex looks like buy time to me. Totally. I completely agree. Crypto Journeyman says, I'm here. 39 people. Yeah, we actually got 71. So shout out to everyone there. Let's see. Okay. We'll get into it in just a minute here. Kate Fugor, hey, bro. How's it going? I still need to chit chat with you. Let's get on the phone sometime if you want. Afternoon, Brandon and all. And to the dumpsters, Bullocks. Hex price, 9.37 cents. We got Chris. We got a whole bunch of other people that we'll get into in just a minute. Okay. Let me, because I kind of, I like to participate with the chat and answer each question if possible, or just each person so they're recognized. But then also, once again, I've all this stuff in light blue is stuff that I want to cover. So let's get right into that now before we get off focus a little bit too much. Okay, so we're gonna come up here. This is a clip that I just posted, and you can tell I just posted it because there's no thumbnail. And then same thing with the description itself. I usually like to, for those that don't know, on all of my clips, maybe the first half I didn't start doing this, but subsequently on all my clips, the very first link in the description, it's not the exact timestamp of the actual clip itself, but it's where that clip originated from. So we're going to be adding that to this description once we're done with the stream. But let me come over here and we're going to play this clip. So the title is PulseChain launch, 2 more weeks in perpetuity, ? And then we'll go to Richard's tweet right after this. That kind of gives us some, some expectations of, once again, not getting too antsy and not getting too, impatient, I guess, with what's going on. Kind of just a little bit more of an expectation so people can still plan what they want to do accordingly, to Richard's responses and, what his developers are telling him. So let's play this. Let's make sure we're full screen. Whoops. Okay, full screen, and then be back in just like, I don't know, a minute.
Fair, is that too close to home?
Here's the thing.
We're not actually 4 weeks away.
So,
but that's
all of my devs are not of the same quality.
You didn't smile about that one.
All of my devs are not of the same quality. I have better and worse devs.
Yeah.
So they do stuff, and the stuff is very good.
Yeah.
Usually, but because what we're doing is ultra hard, sometimes my best dev will look and go.
So you're saying that launching your own blockchain and doing the world's largest airdrop isn't easy?
Yeah, there's a reason that so many billions of dollars are lost to code bugs in other people's projects that aren't mine. There's a reason mine works really well. So, my best guy looked and found bugs, and the bugs need fixed. That's it. Mm-hmm. And he's still looking, and he's still finding bugs. And until bugs stop being found, you're just like, okay, their estimate was bad. And luckily they're not actually like hard bugs. Like they're actually pretty easy stuff. Like,
but I still get to razz you about 4 more weeks.
I think we're into the 2 weeks now. 2 weeks TM, 2 weeks forever. I've seen like the Mars GIF of the girl's head exploding from 2 weeks. I've seen lonely Pablo Escobar GIFs. I've seen like the skeletons on the bench waiting. I've seen we had the same thing when Hex was going to launch. The same exact stuff, man.
Well, I will.
Okay. All right. Let me come back over here. Okay. So yeah, once again, that was a clip that I had just posted. And then we're also going to go to Richard's tweet that he had done. Let's see. So it was today at 11:30. So it was just a couple and a half hours ago. Give me just a second. We'll share the screen right here as well. Okay, so that clip itself was from Richard and one of the producers of Highest to Stakes documentary, and then we got an update once again just like 2.5, 3 hours ago. So it's from Richard. He says PulseChain will not be launching this month. I will keep up my outrage marketing. The metrics look good so far. And then he also says, he says, by the way, some people like the idea of launching at a bottom of a bear market. So for those people, they probably love the delays. And then we'll get into some of the other stuff a little bit later. So once again, kind of something that you can do to, plan around, whatever your strategy is. And then it's similar to myself and Monica Moffitt Meals. We went on Crypto Stylist, her stream. So everyone should definitely go check that out and give her a subscribe and follow as well. But it was kind of like what Monica had asked, which is like, we've all been waiting, and it's similar to Hex. That's why there was so much damn FOMO and yeah, I guess just FOMO on day one of Hex, where it was the 4 more weeks meme of, hey, when's Hex going to launch? 4 more weeks. And then it was that for about, Hextech was saying, I think like 10 to 14 months. So I didn't remember how long it was, but I just remember the same thing. And the point is then, once it does launch, what are you going to do? So, we've got more time itself to really come up with the strategy. And then I'll take, funding Jim, his approach and his strategy that, hey, kind of come up with the plan with what you want to do. Do you want to supply liquidity? Are you going to be one of the people that does the ratio trading before the actual bridge itself? What kind of implications? You kind of have to ask yourself all these different questions. Like, oh, if you do the ratio trade, pre-bridge, what kind of implications can that have? The positives and the negatives. For me, it always kind of works out when I write stuff on paper, and then just do like the old, do the old T chart where you kind of, you kind of do one of these. Kind of do one of these things, and then you gotta, pros and then cons on one side. On both sides, you kind of just compare and contrast. So that might be good for some people. Just go back to the basics once again. We got Chris side effects, Khalid, Karafi. It's late. Hey man, go to bed. You can always watch this later. So doers and everyone else, we got Believe in Yourself says, greetings, BallietBran. That is one fine looking shirt you have on there. I didn't plan on doing this right this second, but since he mentions it, let's see, hexmerch.com. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure all can see kind of the scrolling ticker at the bottom, and it's in the description as well of all the videos. But yeah, so if people don't have Hex merch, if you don't have PulseChain merch or PulseX merch, well, you can get it at hexmerch.com, and I think it's really cool. The actual quality. So on the stream that I did with Crypto Stylist and Monica Mofit Meals, once again, it's definitely a great stream to go back to. But she had asked me like, hey, Bran, have you made any of the shirts yourself? Have you used the Hex logo from the website, and have you printed any shirts? And the answer is definitely yes. I printed a couple sweaters and things like this, but honestly, for someone else to do the work and for the quality that this is per se, on the back, it says, you can kind of see actually on the back, it says hex.com, so that's pretty cool that it's double-sided. But the point is that for, a 10% discount using Brandhammer 10 and the quality that you get, for me, it was just so much more, feasible and made more sense for someone else to do it. Right. So I'll kind of show everyone some other stuff too, just because once again, it's something that I wanted to cover in the first place. And, Motley and Tendies and all those guys at Legion VC, they're always doing things to benefit the community. And once again, people might not understand this in the beginning of Hex. For those that were there, you will definitely understand. But there was literally no places to buy the merch. And so, yeah, that's why I did print a couple of shirts. But I tell you what, nothing looks good, as good compared to what they have today. So this is also a PulseChain flag that I bought. So let me, it's a big flag. Okay. So let me, I should have probably had this unfolded in the first place. Let's just see where the, you can kind of see huge, they kind of got the, the Louis Vuitton type of, Hex and PulseChain prints. And Hex Monkey, I see that you're in the chat there too, man. I'll scroll down to you once I get to the rest of it. But yeah, let's come back over here to hexmerch.com and kind of just show everyone. So they've got hats like this. This is a trucker style hat, and it's really cool too, because the other hat that I have from say Vegas and things like this is kind of like almost like an embroidery, even though it's like into the same layer of the hat itself. They got different color schemes and things, and I like this one personally because it's got all three, right? It's got let's see, Hex, PulseX, and then PulseChain. So I thought that was pretty cool. Let's show off some other stuff as well. I bought this pillow just because I know it's going to stay clean at the girlfriend's place and keep its color. So thought that was kind of cool as well. And then on my profile picture, I have what is it, like the same color gradient itself and same style, but it's actually PulseChain. And honestly, the cool thing about things that are kind of vanity and stuff is these really weren't that expensive. These were maybe like $50. I'm not the kind of guy to blow stupid money like Richard does. You know, he does because he can, right? And he does because he can brag about it. But I'm not one of those guys. So I like getting a good deal and a good value. So these ones are the hex shoes themselves too, which I thought was kind of cool. And then, you know, lastly, I promise I'm done with the shilling after this. Lastly, this is the so this is the same style shirt here, except this one looked better on me today. So that's why we're wearing it. So this is the PulseChain one. And once again, the color itself goes, not only is this like good workout material, but the color itself goes, you know, all the way around. And then we got right there, there we go, PulseChain.com. So that's cool as well. All right, let's say what's up again to the chat. And then, you know, once again, we've got Vitalik saying he's not a billionaire anymore. We've got, you know, Richard Hart kind of showing off some of the sizzle reels and things like that with the Highest of Stakes documentary. And, you know, what does a sacrifice mean, right? Does it mean that, you know, you want to try and control people's speech and language and things like that because you don't approve of what they say? No, it doesn't mean that at all. So, you know, we might cover that real briefly as well. I feel like a lot of other people have already covered it well enough, so I don't really need to spend much time in there. Game On says, hi, how's it going? Great streams from SJ. Yeah, you know, she's one of the channels that we should really get a lot more attention to and things like that. She does a wonderful job. I planned on doing this maybe separately with everyone. See, SJ, Reed, Scivive. Planned on doing this separately with everyone of kind of just going to, you know, people's channels like this. So SJ Reed Scivive, you know, let's get her up. I mean, I've got, how many subscribers do I have? Like 5,470. Well, you know, with whatever subscriber power and things like that I have, let's lift other people up and let's, you know, the torch that's being passed down. You know, let's get those people some subscribers because, you know, SJ, not only did I stream with her on her channel, which was really fun. She's a really great person. I had met her in person as well at the most recent Vegas conference, but she also spent, so the actual recording time itself is 22 hours. And, you know, that's like the finalized recording time, right? How many days and how many weeks did it take for her to get it perfected? But for anyone that doesn't know, Richard's got a book, you know, talking about surviving through science and, you know, some of his philosophies and things like that, that people have a lot of questions to. You know, you can see and listen to the actual audiobook instead of having to read it page for page. So SJ spent a whole bunch of time. We're going to scroll down here. You can see once again, it's broken down by each chapter, and then it's however long it took her to read each chapter. And it's in a great pace. You know, obviously it's in a great voice. And, you know, I really appreciate her for doing that because, you know, when Richard says, hey, there's no profit or expectations of work from others, it's very true. And so what that means is that, you know, people like Motley and Legion VC that are self-starters, or people like SJ that are self-starters, you know, she said, hey, no one else is doing this. So let me do this. And so I really appreciate her for doing that. And, you know, it's super nice because these days you got a lot of people listening to Audible and things like that. And, you know, you can just, if you've got YouTube Premium, you can literally just play the music. You can play the audio in the background and then, you know, multitask doing something else productive. So I just wanted to say a big thanks and big shout out to her for doing that. And let's say what's up to the rest of the chat. And then once again, got some other stuff to cover. Chris Side Effect says, you're looking good, Bran. Yeah, it's week three into Crypto Fitness Challenge. And, you know, once again, yeah, I'd taken what wasn't working for me, completely threw that out the window, and daily basis been doing, you know, 45 minutes of cardio, been getting back into the lifting and gaining some of that muscle back. And we're going to get back to where I was, you know, when I first started streaming. Health is wealth, fam, mental and physical. It's so true, man. It's so true. Blaine, how's it going? Crypto Ross, Crypto Life School says, hope you're good. I'm doing great. Hope you're well as well. Hexhound says, RG3 tweeted June 1st. Stop bugging me. Alan Feels Amay says, all these weak hands giving me a second chance at cheap hex. I'm not going to complain. Alan, that's the winner mindset and mentality. You know, on the way from Bitcoin's penny to $69,000, some people like to think that things just go straight up, and they don't, right? They happen cyclically. You know, what goes up must come down, but then it consolidates. And for me, it's just seemed like we've been on a consolidation period for the longest time. I don't see many more down chopping personally, but it seems that, kind of chopping sideways. And then I think a lot of people are just, maybe ready for PulseChain or whatever it is. But, to Alan's point, it's an opportunity, and that's definitely the winner's way of looking at things. I tell you what, because a lot of the people, myself included, right, that FOMO'd on day one, a lot of us had also scooped up some hex on day 33 as well, where it was like 1.8 million hex for Ethereum. So you can take whatever your initial buy-in was, and you can have it be lowered if you dollar cost average in. And then I'll also take this opportunity to Alan's point that, Wendy's for Tendies talked about on a stream the other day that he comes from like the stock market, right? And he was talking about Michael Saylor specifically, that in the stock market, you do what's called like doing a lump sum, so throwing, kind of shooting your load all at once to get what you think is the bottom, and to do that. But in crypto, the best strategy, and we've seen this with Michael Saylor as well, you see him kind of that had bought heavily towards the top, and then lately he's been dollar cost averaging as the price itself is dipping and going down. So that's going to lower his, average buy-in per coin. So it's definitely the right strategy to do, in my opinion, and it's proven what works. I mean, there's a reason that Miguel with Dollar Cost Crypto has that name, Dollar Cost Crypto. So not all the time is one strategy, say in the traditional system, going to be the same strategy that works for, say, cryptocurrency. So I really wanted to say thank you for that. It's a really good point that you bring. And then also, Monica mentioned during the stream with myself and Crypto Stylist on her channel, on Crypto Stylist channel, she had said that, hey, she had sacrificed for PulseX. She has Hex, right? She's got a staking ladder, but she doesn't have any PulseChain. And I know for some people, especially with the anticipation of, hey, when's PulseChain going to launch and things, sometimes that anticipation can build fear of missing out and can make someone want to, once again, do what we saw with Hex, which is kind of, buying all at once. And, we just see that over time, no matter how much anticipation is built up and things like that, once again, just you can't really go wrong with that dollar cost. And like Johnny Chase says, cut the price. I think he means chaos. Cut the price of Hex in half since you get a free copy. So 9-cent Hex is 4.5-cent Hex. Bask in it, Hexicans bask. Well, and then, some of the other stuff that I wanted to cover earlier is that, at first you had the Fed Reserve that was doing like quantitative easing, which is like, helicopter money. And then you've got quantitative tightening, which is the raising of the interest rates. And then, this is why people need to start looking into some contracts, right? Because if you have, a variable interest rate, well, then when they start doing that quantitative tightening and raising the actual rates, I would love to have Wales on for something like this, because I know that he's like the expert. But now, the actual interest that you're paying on, say, either, your credit card or your student loans and things, it's going to go up as the rates go up. So it's going to be, more expensive to borrow. And it's such a shame that, in a day and age where you've got the internet, where you can literally learn anything, whether it's an MBA, whether it's, some of these other degrees, you can learn all of that for free. It's such a shame that we live in a society that, you can bankrupt yourself. You can do a Chapter 7 bankruptcy or 11 out of, say, credit card debt. But if you're into student loans, which a lot of people are, unfortunately, that's like it's like literally, the ball and chain. So that's really unfortunate. But, the way to get out of that is to have things that work against the inflation and that kind of are a hedge, because, with gasoline prices going up, with, and some shortages that I've seen with diesel, when you see things like that, you really have to be smart with where your money goes and your expenses too, limiting your expenses as much as possible. Stone Interiors Hex Quattro Cinco says, sup. We got Hex Monkey. Completion fails. Hey, Chris says, whoops. Okay, we just skipped a whole bunch of chats. We're almost to the bottom, guys and gals, and then we'll get into some of this super large list here. Chris says, Bitcoin bottom. Bitcoin bottoms usually a bit more than a year after the top. So January 2023, general crypto market bottom. Yeah. And then when you see Richard saying that, hey, and it is kind of funny that some other people had kind of speculated, maybe what is or what isn't going on. But when Richard talks about launching in a bear market, I mean, that's what Hex did. And that's why 33 days after the launch, Ethereum went from like $150 at the time or $162 at the time to, it was even cheaper. It was like $93, something like that at the all-time bottom. And it happened to just play in perfectly with day 33. So anyways, take advantage of these opportunities. And, if you kind of do have that mentality, just understand what you're getting involved in and treat the crypto seriously, because otherwise, if you get into making emotional decisions, that's what a lot of traders do. And, now instead of you being like calm, cool, and collected, the actual market itself will just dictate what you're doing with your money, which is super volatile. Bran equals the Hex goat. Let's see. Dripped. No, I didn't. No, I'm done sacrificing. And as far as that thing goes, I mean, not to give it too much attention and stuff, but like when you sacrifice for XYZ coin or, for this project over here and things like that, what you're kind of doing is shorting Hex, or you're doing a hedge against Hex and things like that. You're betting that, XYZ protocol or XYZ, loan token is gonna, go up more than Hex, or go up more than, say, the RH products and ecosystem. And for me, I'll be honest, I've, back in the day and stuff, I'd kind of, played a little bit here and a little bit there, and nothing has ever outpaced, the founder and the gains that we see with, Richard Hart products. He just does everything better. So, and you have this fallacy too, where someone has the thought that, oh, it's I don't even know how many days. Maybe it's at 900 now of Hex. Hex is 900 days old, and people had the same fallacy with Bitcoin. And it's like, so they had a fallacy that like, okay, Hex is 900 days old, but this new product over here in this new project, it's new, so I can get in earlier, be an early adopter, and then maybe get all these gains that some of these other people did. And it doesn't usually work out that way. Hex Monkey, nice to see you, man. He says, remember to thank Richard Hart for this delay in Pulse launch, as it seems to have given us another glorious chance to buy the dip. Yeah, I mean, we're at like 9.19 cents. And then, the thing is too, is like, let's actually do this right now. So let's come over here and then let's pull up good old nomics.com. 1 minute. Let's do, so once again, go subscribe to SJ if y'all haven't yet. So we're just going to go over. So instead of year to date, we're going to go to one year, so last 365 days. Let's make sure all can see. And then we'll remove the comment just for now. And then once again, dude, thanks for the 110 people watching. You all rock. Much love, everyone. Much love. So let's come back over here and let's take a look, because once again, you got some people that are so, we call it like the horse, the horses themselves in those horse races, they've got the blinders. They literally have the blinders on to where they're just seeing the track itself. But then if you take off those blinders once they're done racing, you see the whole field and you see the whole vision itself. So, and especially in crypto, I think it's important, or say stock market, we can look at the stock market too, the SPX, the S&P 500. You look at it from like a macro scale and logarithmic scale and kind of zoom out, and it just doesn't look good, But anyway, so let's come back here to the point that I want to make before I get on to the next. So, Bitcoin itself, it's been jumping up between, first it couldn't hold 40K, and then it couldn't hold 35K. Now it's, bouncing between, above 30K and below 30K and all these different things. And the more times that you see it kind of, sitting somewhere without a whole bunch of buy pressure and without a whole bunch of kind of volume indicating that it's kind of, the bottom, then, that actual support then at the time just gets weaker and weaker, and then eventually becomes resistance as you start going back up. But anyway, so let's come back over here and let's just do the yearly. Okay. So, Bitcoin down 13.46. Bitcoin also doesn't pay you a yield as say something like Hex does. You've got Ethereum down 3.96%. Hey, Binance coin, good for you, up 21.84. Some of these other things, right? Solana, same thing, constantly pausing the network, some of these other things. But hey, you can't knock, other coins that had gains. Good for them, right? So 112%. And then Hex itself is about 133% up from the year. And then once again, it is really, the only crypto itself that pays you a yield trustlessly. And, that's one of the things I wanted to talk about, that in uncertain times and in times where you've got gasoline prices and diesel prices that are just literally, they're looking better than the Hex chart, right? They're just skyrocketing 24/7. Well, then, whatever you have at your job, the money that you're making, the money that someone's making at their job per hour or their salary, it's not keeping up with inflation. And then as the actual cost of goods become more expensive, then they're paying more and they're getting less. So it's really one of those things that, you even see on the debate with Richard Hart and Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff mentions that most of his portfolio is not in gold and silver, like he kind of almost alludes to, or like the perception that the average investor sees. He had mentioned that a lot of his capital was in, what did he call it? Like, pretty much yield producing assets, similar to like Hex, but with stocks. But the cool thing with the Hex is, hey, you can have possession, you can have control, and not have to worry about, big daddy government or centralized entity, shutting something off or saying that you can't trade here and there. Someone had mentioned that, I think it was on RH Maximalist, his stream, and I'll actually be on his stream May 26th at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. He's another Hexican that everyone should go follow. Once I'm done with the stream itself, I'm going to put a whole bunch of channels that I want people to go subscribe to and follow. Thothchild is one of them. We got SJ Reed Sci-Vive. We got Gen Hex, Craig Wadding, right? A whole bunch of people that are getting out there and that, are putting their 2 cents into it. So let me just come over here and say hi to the chat real quick. This delay has been an opportunity for us little guys. Yeah, it totally has. J-Man says, well, and then let me just come back over here to real quick. First off, the founder itself is not the product, and the product is not the founder. They're two separate things. And so when you have something like Hex, Hex's code didn't change just because the price went down. It's not like Hex is any worse just because the price itself is on a consolidation. And then when you look at the past performance of what it's done and how many market cycles it's done, we've dipped 70 to 90%, 70 to like say 85 to 90% multiple times. And then, the past is not always indicative of the future, but if you kind of see what it's doing, measuring to these other cryptos and these other markets, it's definitely, more of a safe haven than anything else I'd put my money behind. J-Man says, the longer PulseChain takes, the more money I can have for launch. Richard Hart can take all the time he needs. Totally. And then also, once again, for those that didn't get into PulseChain, for those that didn't get into PulseX, the damn chain hasn't even launched yet. You're literally going to be there for day one. And, if you haven't gotten in, Crypto 7 and I talk about this, and he brought this point up a lot, that, you're going to have people that they saw Richard's disclaimer on the nomenclature with the sacrifice, and they said, hell no. You think we're going to put millions or X amount of capital into something that's not guaranteed? No, we'll wait for the chain itself and the coins to to launch, and for there to be liquidity to buy into. So that's really cool too, for, just don't lose track of kind of the opportunity that we're in, because you're still there pre-launch. You're going to be there for PulseChain at day one, PulseX at day one. And then also, as far as, more opportunity goes, this is also kind of like a point that, hey, not always do you have to be 100% staked. Sometimes it's nice to have a little bit liquid, even if you're not doing anything with it, right? You're not selling it. You kind of just have it sitting on the sidelines. Richard also mentions during the stream with the documentary producer that, he's going to have another coin coming out for another sacrifice, right? For the wallet. And so Richard is kind of, he's got this thing where it's like, just trying to, he used to have a company called like Efficient Systems, right? He would take things and make them more efficient and make them better than how they currently were. And so we're going to see the same thing with the wallet. And that's just more opportunity for those that, didn't get in Hex on day 33 or didn't get in, to the PulseChain or PulseX sacrifice. Okay, one Heximofo says, just wait to hear all the people complaining next year saying, yeah, all you people got in at 10 cents, 10-cent Hex. I wish I could get that price, but most of them know it now, but can't pull the trigger. It's so true. Yeah, people at 56 cents wish they could get it at 10 cents, or right now it's literally 9 cents, 9 cents flat. It's always that someone got lucky until they have that opportunity, and all of a sudden, their emotions are kind of driving them and pushing them away from an opportunity that's literally just staring them in the face. Let's see. J-Man says, Mobius, me too. And I'm going up from the comments, and then we'll get into the rest of the list. Mobius says, Mobius, me too, but I am saving most of my money for Pulse and Hex. Awesome. Cape says, best exercise workout is a 20-foot ladder up the side of your house. Spend the day going up and down that. Let's see. We'll be doing it once I am well again. Yeah. And, obviously, don't have to preach to the choir, but be careful on those ladders, man. Like 20 feet. Make sure your angle is at a good enough grade. You don't want any more injuries. Let's see. Refined Hayseed Appellation says, cheers, Balliet. We got Cryptogonal. No FOMO says one Heximofo. Let's see here. People use limit orders. Yeah, and this is something that RG3 has been preaching a lot lately. Johnny Chaos has been preaching a lot lately. And I've done both, to be honest. I've market bought. I've, used market orders before. And it's like, man, once again, it's playing into the concept of impatience. I mean, if you want to place, a bid or an ask, if you want to place a buy, well, do you need to have those coins in your possession right this second? I mean, you can literally go to matcha.xyz, matcha.xyz, and you can go into a limit order. You need wrapped Ethereum, which you can just convert right there on Matcha. And then all of a sudden you can start placing limit orders with no fees, so you're just paying one fee to get into wrapped Ethereum. And then from there, you can do limit orders on Hex. You can do, limit order sells and things like that. And that way you're becoming the liquidity versus, bidding against the liquidity and eating some of the slippage that happens when you do market orders. Yeah, Jerry, I'm going to message you back. I am going to be there. Yeah, totally need to spend a little bit more time in that chat. But yeah, there's going to be a Washington State meetup on the 28th. So I'll definitely be there, bro. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, we'll talk a little bit more after the stream. I had only made it halfway through Sci-Vive on my own read, so made a quick task of finishing. Thanks, SJ. Totally. Yeah, and it's so much easier to not do the reading. I mean, for me, that's the thing that I like about writing things down is it helps you like collect your thoughts, right? But when you're reading, it's like all the attention, all the focus has to go there. And for me, everyone learns a little bit differently, but for me, the auditory learning just really works. Yeah, so shout out to SJ. She did a stream today. So her, Sandra, and then BG's wife, I forget her name right off bat, but they were talking about sudden wealth syndrome and, not loaning money to family members and kind of how sudden wealth in, crypto or other things can kind of compare to, winning the lottery or other things like that. And in some of the, things, the pros and cons that can come from that. J-Man in the house. This guy, dude, Bullish Ox. Shout out to those guys. Once again, him, Sam, and Jim Rat Crypto. I mean, they took the initiative just like SJ did. These three guys, they took the initiative to, want to see Richard Hart healthier, to want to see everyone else in the community healthier. And, how cool is it that, you can work on things that are goals that you have, but you don't have to do it alone. I mean, a lot of people, have similar goals. So the fact that we're kind of doing it and helping each other and supporting each other with whatever, sometimes just a little group can kind of make things a little bit easier to do. Uncle Larry, hey, thanks for the informative streams, Bran. Appreciate you. Brandhammer, let's see. Update. I'm not a billionaire either. Laura Bullian says your new haircut looks great. You know, and that's the funny thing that crypto stylist and Monica said. This isn't haircut. This is just some Murray's Light pomade. That's the secret. Murray's Light pomade, some good stuff. When do you expect PulseChain to launch? Honestly, man, I'm at the point anymore where it's like, you know, I don't even care when it launches anymore. Like, you know, 2 more weeks, you know, 4 more weeks, all these different things. And then it's just like, I don't really care. Like when it happens, it'll happen. One Hexy. So myself and someone else had talked about this. I think for security reasons and things like that, it's smart to have that information kind of be on like a need to know basis, in my opinion, or if someone is in the state itself or coming, then they can kind of have that. But I don't think it's smart necessarily to just say, hey, we're going to be here at this time in this place for people that don't need to know that information. So it's on a need to know basis. We can definitely get you the info if you're in the area. And then, yeah, you know, definitely come on down. Dude, I believe 9-cent hex is the best price. And then Jerry Oaksmith says, looking good, bro. Yeah, thank you, man. It's 3 weeks and making productive progress. I mean, down 7.2 pounds and you know, building back the muscle and some of these other things. Okay, so let's get back into some of the stuff that I had wanted to cover. So Motley Investor, he had done a stream with a gentleman who's actually, you know, once again, he's a Hexican who has been in since day one. And he, you know, some people they've been in there since the beginning and they just, you know, haven't been on stream and they haven't been public. But so the stream that they had done was with this guy in California. I think it's in Irvine, California. And so you can see right on their website, it says we accept crypto, has Hex, Pulse, and PulseX. And then little to Motley's surprise and to my surprise too, that, you know, he didn't know about during the stream, is that, you know, this person, the owner, so this is like a supercar rental and things like that. And it's not too far away from Vegas either. So for PulseCon, heck, you know, I definitely want to rent a supercar this time. But anyways, he said he was going to give 20% off to, you know, the Hexicans and things like that inquire, which is really great because, you know, for anyone that knows, like getting a good deal is obviously awesome. So just wanted to share that. That's what website is that? That's hexoticrentals.com. So I wanted to say shout out to Motley for doing that. And actually, let's just share the screen real quick too for the stream that he had done. So that's their website. Once again, hexoticrentals.com. And then this was the actual stream itself. Once again, 843 views, 171 likes. Same thing. I mean, most people are subscribed to Motley, but hey, if you're not, definitely go do so because once again, people like him, Yash Deep, Legion VC, they're building products that, you know, not only can we wear, but then also that also help Hex. So let's come back over here and just share real quick. So Hexotic Rentals takes crypto ? And then this was the stream that he had done. It was him and Wendy's for attendees. So you can see those two. And then, you know, this guy will push up the quality just for a second real quick. And once again, I like people that stream at 1080p, but you can zoom in right here and just see, you know, so the guy's got a pretty cool neon light with Hex, PulseChain, and then PulseX, and then got a little bowl in the background. So I thought that was pretty cool here. We'll get back to the rest of the list in just a second. Once again, another Hexican y'all should be following if you haven't already. You know, let's get everyone else's channels up to the same rate. I mean, you know, Alan and Patrick with Crypto Sparbuch, they had talked about, you know, we have such a powerful community and we've got a lot of this influence that, you know, everyone should have like the same amount of subscribers, or at least within the community itself. If you're not following these other Hexicans and subscribe to these other people that are providing value, then do so. You know, it makes it worth the while for the person doing it and for the people that are receiving the information. And it kind of, you know, just spreads the knowledge of that as well. So he does a little bicep in the chat. Okay, so let me just cross some of these things off this list real quick. Yeah, once again, you know, gasoline prices and as far as those costs in the grocery store, things like that, I don't think they're going to be going down anytime soon. And in fact, I think they're going to continue going up as, you know, we seem to be going into a recession and things like this. So doesn't hurt to have a little bit more than you need, right? To have a little bit extra. Or as far as things goes, I mean, hey, I know a couple people that had a couple extra vehicles, and do you really need a gas guzzler vehicle? In some of these times, if you can get away without it, so let me just cross another thing off this list. So yeah, I'd put something down here that is, what is our straws break the camel's back moment when it comes to the economy and comes to some of these things, and what can that mean? I mean, once again, it just pays to be looking a little bit forward in the actual future itself. Okay, and then let me get into some of the other stuff here. Once again, we're like 50 minutes into it, so I'm definitely gonna bust some of this out real quick. So let's go to PulseChain.com. And let's just make sure y'all can see the screen, not staring at Mr. Brandman here. He says, thank you for the support as always. Yeah, dude, thank you as well. And once again, your raps in the beginning are badass, dude. So I really love it. Okay, so this is just PulseChain.com. And then once again, you can scroll all the way down to the bottom here. And then it's like really hidden, just like any disclaimer and things like that. But you can see the full disclaimer. And then also if you click here, download branding resources. If you happen to be someone that's printing stickers or, making anything merch wise, you can just go right there, download branding resources. You can do that on the pulsex.com and hex.com, either on the very bottom or a separate section has all of the super high quality PNGs. But some people in the community seem to have forgotten. And once again, I don't like addressing stuff, a whole bunch that's already been addressed, but just really, really quickly, we'll cover this. So some people seem to have forgotten what a sacrifice means and think that they can just, tell people what to do and control them and things like this. So let's just read the disclaimer for, Pulse. So this is the same for PulseX and then, for PulseChain as well. And then let me just zoom in so I can make this easier for myself. It says, and then let's just make sure we're sharing real quick. Okay, great. Okay, you are sacrificing to prove how strong you believe that blockchains are speech and speech is a protected human right. This is an important political statement. You must have no expectation of profit from the work of others. Let's scroll down a little bit. The set of people who have sacrificed to show their commitment to this political statement make a great set of people to airdrop free things too. And then it says, so the sacrifice points are not meant to have any monetary value. Remember, you are not buying anything. The world is just noticing you are amongst a group of people that sacrifice to make a political statement. Some countries tax their citizens when they receive things of value. PulseChain and all the coins on it are designed to start with no value. Thank you, Richard. That's awesome. Which is ideal. It says, let's zoom in for this last part here. Consult your own legal and financial professionals, as nothing written here should be considered professional advice. The only thing we know of set to be airdropped for free to this political group so far is PulseChain, PLS. If we hear about other cool things, we'll let you know. So once again, I just thought that was kind of important to cover. And then I think I also have I've got a little tweet here that we'll share the screen on as well. I hope I'm still sharing the audio. I guess
all this drama.
Whoops. I guess the chat will be able to give me some feedback if we're still sharing the audio here. But let me just full screen this real quick. That lady, a Playboy model, and then her friend here that does all the photos and stuff. They had streamed with Richard just a handful of days ago. And so Richard had talked about about his mother having schizophrenia and some of these other things that personally, in over the 5 years that I've been following Richard, had no idea about. And I just thought it was really cool that, he's opening up to some of the stuff and kind of explaining his why he's so passionate about, longevity and health and preservation. So let me just play this little clip here.
So I've been eating all this drama. I think it was 18. I think it's 18.
Okay.
So I've had all this drama about people telling me to like chill out and be like more respectful on stream and stuff. And like they're losing business deals over how I act and stuff. Sorry, guys. Don't watch this channel. I want more from my life, right? I want to have fun and be myself and tell the truth. And if, you know, me having the first time with a lady of the night is a problem for you, go away. It's fine, right? Like, so I've been eating all this drama. I think it was 18.
Okay, cool. So I think y'all get the point. Once again, I don't like to cover stuff too in depth. But yeah, just a friendly reminder there. And then actually, you know, since we're already sharing the screen anyways, let's Big Boy says sharing is good. And Query Partners, we'll get to your comment in just a second here. But you know, hey, let's lighten the mood a little bit before we get into the rest of some of the stuff here. And then yeah, let's just see some of the stuff that Mr. Richard Hart is doing. So we're gonna go over here and just start scrolling down. Okay, so let's just make sure y'all can see. Okay, great. Okay, so Richard says, haters, what has 145 IQ and is better than you? Question mark. Me and my big PP. Here's a couple million of my cars. And then he's got the Rolls Royce Speed. He's got the Ferrari SF90, some sort of Lamborghini. He's got the Ferrari Roma, and he's got this you know, lifted Mercedes. And you know, I love Richard because, you know, part of the cypherpunk movement or just, you know, freedom movement or anything like that is you know, not pandering to people, no matter, you know, what they think of you and things, and just being authentic to yourself. So I love that Richard is always authentic to his true self. And hey, if people like it, great. If not, you know, screw off. You know, let's scroll down here and so let's look at some of these things. Let's go to the first half again. Okay, cool. I played it twice because the first part was cut off a little bit. Hexicans hate drama. Yeah, dude. I mean, as far as all that stuff goes, it's like, Jesus Christ, man. Like how many people are not being productive and spending their time on unproductive things? Like, go live your life, go do stuff that you can control. Because if you can't control stuff and you're just complaining about stuff that you can't control, then honestly, you just look like a whining bitch. So let's scroll down here and keep going. This one, I'm totally going to get probably some copyright strikes for this, but I really don't care. The audio is just so worth it. So let's, this is cool.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 stick, you can get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 stick, you can get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right?
Okay, cool. And then while we're at it, let's just scroll down to the rest of these. This is just a slow-mo of Richard. Yeah, I know there's no audio in this one, so it's like 30 seconds of silence. Okay, so y'all get the gist of that one. I thought one of the comments was super hilarious because Johnny Chaos, CCFX Studios, he was saying like, man, Richard he's on his quest to you know, out bling a crystal ball, what is it, a disco ball, which I thought was pretty hilarious. And then so I think this is the last one that we'll play just for now, because once again, it's, you know, it's just a couple minutes of segments that I'd wanted to cover of, you know, some of the highest of stakes documentary footage and clips. So we're going to play this one, which is like a minute, and then we'll get into the rest of the more on topic stuff that we're going to cover. Okay.
$2 million for charity. Oh wait, yo, I got it. You ready? Yo, Richard Hart here. 2 million on the wrist, 2 million in the cars. Lifted G-Wagon from the factory, 600 horsepower Ferrari, 600 horsepower Lambo, 1,000 horsepower, $1 million Ferrari. 600 horsepower Bentley, and giant dick. I have a giant dick. You can see it right here on the license plate, 145 IQ. And I raised $27 million for charity. So all you people trying to talk shit, like, oh, Richard, why you give money to charity? I gave more than you. Oh, why don't you make other people rich? I make other people rich. Oh, what are you born rich? I was born poor. Fuck you guys. Get on my level.
Great. Okay, let's get into some of the other information. Let me just say what's up to Big Boy. Richard is the GOAT. I think he's so funny, but serious. And once again, hey, just like with Jeff Bezos or with Elon Musk, right? When he's with Joe Rogan and smoking a joint, and like all these corporate people and shareholders and VCs and stuff are like, oh my God, absolutely losing it. But freaking, let people be them. And I love that Richard's constantly proving that, and he's gonna double down on the people that try and say otherwise or trying to control him. Pulse Goddess says success is the best revenge. It totally is. Okay, yeah, that's an off-roader ready for the farm. Exactly. Yeah. Keep Richard away from any psychedelics. And I'd always kind of wondered, like, dude, why is this guy always, you don't have to love marijuana or psychedelics or anything like that, but why is he always, berating them and things like that? And it totally makes sense with his mom. He had mentioned that his mom has schizophrenia, and when he had said like his parents had split up when he was around 10, but that some of the like initial signs that his mom was having schizophrenia was that she was taking blankets and covering them over the vents and the TVs and things. So I love that he's got a passion for helping people and being the best version of themselves that they can be. Okay, let's get on to some more on-topic information once again. Big Kurkowski, he's going to be throwing the first pitch at the Chicago game. Let's make sure y'all can see. Then let's and once again, if anyone had any questions or things, what else is there to talk about, right? But if anyone did have any other questions, then we can get into it after I cover the rest of this list. But shout out to the 133 people watching. Thanks everyone for being here. So Chicago game, Padres, June 15th. And then let's scroll in a smidge. So Big Kurkowski, he had said that he had bought an NFT that allows him to qualify for throwing the first pitch. And then when we scroll over here, so we can see it's going to be the San Diego Padres at the Chicago Cubs. And that's going to be 5:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the Chicago time zone. So I'm going to be there. I look forward to meeting other people that are going to be there as well. And once again, it's going to be a big deal. I mean, let me just cross some of these other things off the list. How cool is it that, I mean, a little bit into the, 2 years in and getting closer to the third year with Bitcoin, you didn't see stuff like this. You didn't see some of these advertisements in a community like this. So where we're going, and I made a little clip on this that a lot of people liked, but, it's just kind of reminding people the bigger picture with Hex. I mean, at first when Richard had said, hey, this is designed to do a 10,000x in under 2.5 years, because that's what Ethereum did. Why can't Hex do the same thing? It's better designed. A whole bunch of people just lost their minds. Absolutely. And then when it happened, they doubled down by, moving the goalpost and things like this and never giving credit where credit's due. But for those that don't realize it, Bitcoin did 6.9 million X from a penny to $69,000. And someone else had said, when Bitcoin was 2 years old, it was like 33 cents or 30 cents, something like that. And then Hex, around the 2 year time frame was around like 35 cents. And so I thought that was pretty cool as well. It's just, it's on pace to do its thing. And in my opinion, I think it's going to do it faster. We've already seen when you go to look into hex.com, you can see the rate itself of the chart and just the programmable money. That's all this is programmable money and also a social consensus. So it really is designed to do the 6.9 million X and some of these other things that might just seem so, unrealistic and, impossible, right? Things like this. But it's been done before, So anyways, let's get into the rest of anything else that I had. Let's see. Yeah, the stream with Richard and the Highest Stakes documentary guy, that was a good one. The Playboy model ones too, that was good as well. Let's see, what else do we have? So the very last thing that I'll say is like, controversy sometimes can be a good thing, right? You look at someone like Donald Trump or Floyd Mayweather, or who else did I have? Conor McGregor, people like that. Richard Hart kind of has like not a similar demeanor, but kind of like a similar approach and tactic. And so I thought that was pretty cool as well. And then I thought this was kind of unique, even though it's not, super important to everything that's going on. But let's see. It's Vitalik saying that he is not a billionaire anymore. Let's just take a look here. And yeah, I did want to kind of comment on something like this. So Vitalik, he was responding to whoever this person is, neoliberal. And then, so he does a comment here, and then he says, by the way, I'm not a billionaire anymore. And the only reason I say that that's relevant and that I think that's relevant is because, and hey, what's up, Motley? How's it going, bro? You have a lot of people that, whether it's their staker app or, whatever, they see gains on paper and they think that those might be realized gains, or they think that might be what their net worth and stuff is. And obviously it's not the case if you do go in a bear market, right? And, you only actually have that in possession when you actually, realize that profit and realize that gain. So Vitalik, it's just interesting that the market is the way that it is right now. And then, it's exciting that Richard says that, hey, we've got a little bit more time to prepare. That should be something people are excited about as an opportunity. And, when he talks about some of the bear market that we're still in, we're not done with the bear market, and we do have, more to go. So it's pretty cool that, we can take advantage of this opportunity. And now is the time to be, some people think like, oh, you're so lucky, this and all this other stuff. And it's like, man, I was conserving every penny and working extra time and full time and doing other things to be able to scoop up, another T-share or, extra hex during the diffs. And so now is definitely the time to, sell some of the stuff that you don't need, and, mow your neighbor's lawn and things like this to, be able to take advantage of these prices, because we see that, whether it goes down another cent or two or whatever, we see that, usually these hot deals don't last for very long. And then once they do, all of a sudden, the people that didn't buy at 10 cents, as it starts going to 20 and 30, it becomes more appealing to buy then. And it's like, why is it more appealing to buy? Like the product itself didn't even change at all. Motley says, what's up, Bran? He says, hadn't had a chance to catch your Sunday stream in a while, and does a little flex. Yeah, flex for Motley. Shout out to him. And, Motley's a great guy too. And I've always mentioned that with him and Wendy's for tendies. But, I think it's super cool that he had pitched, 90,000 hex for, and I still don't think we know necessarily how it's going to be divvied up in the crypto fitness challenge that we're 3 weeks into out of 90 days. But how cool is it that him, I think he had pitched in 90,000, and then Marco 10,000, and then, you've got the Shield Masters, which Jim Rat's got these really cool shields that, there's going to be 3 shields for, I think 3 shields, right, for the giveaway. And anyways, it's really cool to see what he's doing. And like I said, Motley, I don't know, I don't think he caught the other part, but I was showing your stream with Hexotic Rentals, the 20% off if they, mention you and that they're Hexagon. And then, also, like I had said, the stuff that you guys are doing with hexmerch.com and some of these other things are really cool. So, a walking billboard. All right. That's pretty much everything that I'd wanted to cover. I don't want to, delay and prolong the stream if there's not much more to talk about. Let me just cover any last minute comments, and then we'll let everyone get on with their day. So, Agenda 69 just picked up a little hex. These prices, does a little monocle thing. I like it. Let's see. Astro 369. 1 second here. Just hit 100 likes. Let's effing go. Hell yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Big Boy says, hey, Motley, been wondering if you were able to get the pup moved. Cute pup, by the way, dude. I love to see people's dogs and pets and personal lives outside of just hex and stuff. Don't know why. Stuck in my head about you. Hope so. I think he was, but yeah, definitely, definitely let us know. People love their hex under 10 cents. XD, it's never a bad thing to take a profit during the green tree, save for a rainy day. Yeah, well, exactly. And once again, I mentioned this earlier. So, some people had it with say Maxi, or they had it with say PulseChain or PulseX, with the sacrifice phases. Sometimes there's almost like this preaching of, hey, be 100% staked for Cuatro Cinco. And it's like, no, make, and I'm not recommending anything, I'm not, but from what I've learned from my experience and what I've seen other people that had regretted from theirs is, hey, do a staking ladder, whether that's once a year, whether that's, biannually, you got 2 stakes a year, set up a ladder that you're comfortable with, and try and minimize those stakes as much as possible on your basis. So now you can not dilute the power of your T-shares. And then as far as that goes, yeah, it doesn't hurt to have some liquid, right? It doesn't hurt to have, some dry powder on the side that you can scoop up some of these dips. Just like Motley had talked about with say PulseChain, and then like Tenny's has mentioned, don't do the lump sum in strategy. I mean, hey, do whatever the hell you want, right? But those that blew their whole load on say day 1 of Hex, then they might have regretted blowing all their Ethereum instead of, waiting just, 32 days later for day 33 and getting a significantly better deal. So, just realize that the market itself can really dictate, how you feel and your emotions, and just realize that that's kind of, by design and kind of what happens. So if you can realize that and kind of plan against it, then I think you'll be better for it. You can make rational, logical decisions versus emotional ones. I'll be getting more for a long time. John Gibbons says, now's the time to be learning so that decisions are easier to make in the future. Yeah. And have a plan. Know what you're going to do when the PulseChain happens, don't, you see some people and people like Tenny's had mentioned, he hasn't logged in, but he knows what he's going to do, right? He's got the experience of it before. But those that are just waiting for PulseChain to launch, and then once PulseChain launches, it's like, what next? Might not be the brightest idea. Motley says, I think they're going to split it evenly among 3 winners. Yeah, Hexotic rentals are great, Hexicans. Yeah, and once again, it's super cool, and Hexicans helping each other out, so really cool. Yeah, he also says, yep, I got her moved, bro. Yeah, cute puppy you got there, bro. Can on-chain analysis identify when a wallet was created? I mean, you can see when the first transactions were done that, yeah, maybe Motley or someone else can kind of verify, but yeah, you can definitely see when the first transactions were done. I mean, I don't know if you'd be able to see like when it was actually created. Maybe you could, you probably could, but usually from, me looking at some of the block explorers, usually it's just the first transaction that you see. So maybe someone created a wallet a week ago, but they didn't actually supply it with anything for another week. So I'm not too sure how to answer that specifically directly. But yeah, obviously you can see when someone's first transaction was. So great news, Motley. Cute pup, by the way. Hey, Bran, great stream like always. Yeah, everyone, that was everything that I had wanted to cover. Got all of the stuff here on the list, on the blue list. So just wanted to say shout out to everyone here. It's a hell of a ride. It's a hell of a journey, and we're going to be here for a very long time. So just keep some of that perspective in, and also once again, social media itself has mental health consequences and things like that studies have shown. So if you're seeing stuff during certain times and things that are unproductive, then freaking turn off the phone and go outside for a walk, or go say hi to the significant other or the family and things, and focus on things that you do have control of, instead of letting stuff get to you. So that's really all I have. Once again, I know Hexray Vision, Rags to Riches, and David Feeder, maybe someone else too, but I know that they were streaming. Let me see if they are still streaming, because if so, let me direct everyone. Hexray, let me just see if they're still streaming. Okay, they're not, but once again, we're both streaming at the same time. Hey, Motley and Tendies were there too. How cool is that? Let me just share the screen for those that haven't seen, that we're attending this stream and haven't seen that stream. Because honestly, dude, anytime I see Motley and Tendies, on stream, or, you know, Hexray Vision and all the other guys. It's like, dude, you know, let's learn from each other. I definitely don't have all the answers, and nor do I ever pretend to. And I don't think other people should as well. But, you know, we can learn from each other, and those people have a whole bunch of significance and a lot of experience that we can all learn from. So let me just share the screen right here. Kablam. And then, yeah, you know, make sure that you like the stream. You know, same thing. Hexray Vision's another one that subscribe to him. And, you know, he's got 1.52 subscribers. And then let me actually just put this in to the chat. 1 minute here. Kablam. Okay, cool. So it's on the YouTube chat as well. And, you know, go support your fellow Hexicans. I'm actually going to watch that right after this to see what they have to say. So once again, I will put in a little list. I done a stream with Thothschild, and I don't think I'm going to upload that one on here, but definitely, you know, definitely go check that out. Go give him a follow as well. Thothschild's a great guy. And then, you know, some other people as well, you know, SJ and some of these other people that we should all be supporting. Let's support each other. So once again, much love, everyone. And we're going to play the outro and let everyone get on with their days. Thank you for watching. And till next time.
Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like, be sure to share, be sure to comment. Yeah. Say hey. Say hey. Say hey. Say hey. Say hey. Motherfucking jackpot. We still jackpot, bitch!
Thank you, Richard, for creating and founding the most amazing and disruptive financial technology cryptocurrency ever. Thank you, sir. And nice streams, Mr. BallietBran. It's fabulous.